Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to make a video. Some pretty interesting things going on in boxing right now. Dwyer, in his video, illustrated them pretty well. But I just had some thoughts about Amir Khan. You know, if any of you guys that are familiar with me, I've been making videos about Amir Khan fights that he's been involved in since I started doing this, and I always felt that he was suspect. In one way or another, I always felt like, whether it was the question of, does he have a chin? Is his chin really glass? Or does he have a glassy chin? Or, is he one-dimensional? And I think that this last fight, sort of, amongst other, his fight with Lamont Peterson also proved his one-dimensionality. But, I think that with Khan, if Khan's up against anyone that has knockout power, he's always going to be in trouble. He looked good against Malik Naji because of Malik Naji's hands and his lack of power, even though he's a great boxer. But against anyone with anything close to knockout power and has the ability to withstand a few punches, he's extremely vulnerable. And yeah, his style's good for TV because he's very fast, he's flashy, he's a little bit cocky. Well, outside of the ring, he's plenty cocky, but inside the ring, he's very fast, and he delivers crisp punches. But he's vulnerable to what people think about him. That was evident in the numbers that he pulls for his gait, and also he's vulnerable with respect to how people think about him because of his Prescott knockout. And in the Maidana fight, he when he did start to fight toe to toe right in front of Maidana, that's when he got himself into trouble. And I thought that because of that punch on Maidana's rib cage in the very beginning of that fight, I thought Amir possessed more knockout power, but I don't really think, a punch like that to anybody's rib cage is gonna stop you in your tracks. Maybe the lightness of it is what ended up allowing Maidana to get up from it. Also, that's not to take away from Maidana's toughness either, but what I'm trying to say is that I don't think, I've been back and forth on this issue, but I don't think Khan possesses true knockout power. I think that, like anyone else, he could get lucky with a punch just in the right sweet spot. But, I think Mayweather has more knockout power than Khan does. And not even really counting the Ortiz punch, but that is an example. You can argue that Ortiz wasn't ready for that one, what have you, wasn't expecting it, but regardless, he remains good for TV. His style is, but I just think that there's been talk whether or not he's going to continue to headline fights or not, and all that talk, no matter who you are, no matter what kind of fights you got, you must focus at the fight at hand. Because while you're so busy talking about future fights with big-time fighters, big-time pay-per-view draw fighters, you're not focused on the opponent at hand. And you're disrespecting your opponent. Now, I don't say that in a way like his opponents, quote-unquote, deserve respect from him. But I'm saying for his own good, for his own self, you must respect your opponent until you're in the ring with them and you discover reasons while you're in the ring with them that you don't need to respect certain aspects of their game. But you don't disrespect them before you even get into the ring with them. And that's a big part of Khan's problem. So, anyhow, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the future with this kid. I've always said that Roach is sort of one-dimensional and trains his fighters in sort of a one-dimensional way. Pacquiao's got all the interesting angles and the speed, but as far as his style goes, it's one-dimensional. Khan's the same way. He's very fast on his feet, but he's pretty much a one-dimensional guy. So, maybe he does need a change in trainer that could help him utilize maybe some other talents that he doesn't even realize, that other skills that he hasn't even really used or practiced or developed. It's Danny Garcia was great in that ring against him, and we'll see yeah. Oh yeah, there's one more thing I wanted to say was that when Khan first got knocked down against Garcia from that big huge punch underneath the ear that landed underneath the ear, I think we can all agree that he was lucky the ref let him continue, because he could barely stand. He was backing up, praying that the ropes were closer than they were, so he could just sort of lean up against them. His legs were gone. The ref even got to 10, then asked him again after 10, do you want to go on? Are you okay? Show me your hands. And he practically had to pick Khan's hands up. So that being said, though, I was very impressed with all that Rocky bullshit that he did, and not for probably the reason that you think. I thought maybe he was doing it a little bit to try to steal some of Garcia's heart away from him. But the fact of the matter is, he was really, really drunk from that punch already. And even, they all say that when you know the punches are coming, you could better take them and you can absorb them way better than the ones that you don't see. But you might argue, why did Khan do that if he was so far gone already? The gain that he would have made from stealing Danny's heart and momentum away could not have equated to the further damage it was going to do to him, physical damage it was going to do to him, being that he was already in a bad physical condition. So what I say is, the reason I say I'm impressed with it was because I think Khan realized he was done too. And he needed to do something to make this loss memorable or give the audience something memorable about himself for this fight. And I thought that, if he did that for that reason, then, A, we're going to see this guy again, and B, he's a little bit smarter than I think we're all giving him credit for, because that was something that we did at least give him credit for. And if you ask anyone, they say that, that it showed that, Khan is a warrior and he has heart, and, he stayed in it, he tried to win. But the reality is that, it was actually kind of, in terms of winning the fight, it was stupid, because he was already in really bad shape. And even though he knew those punches were coming and he took them, that wasn't obviously going to make it more likely that he was going to win the fight. It was only, so to speak, fucking him up more. So, but if it was for the reason of, I got to give these people a reason to remember, I got to at least look good as I'm going down, well, he achieved that. And, that may be the reason why we might see him in maybe not even headlining, but at least involved in another big fight, or on the undercard of another big fight. And that was very smart. I'll give him credit for that.